So with the biggest regulation reset in Formula One history, obviously happening in 2026, the launch and testing timeline now tells me exactly what the teams are going to do and also what can we expect from these car launches, because ultimately they're all different and they're all going to do different things. So first up, we've got January the 15th. We've got Red Bull and Racing Bulls. They've got a joint livery launch in Detroit with Ford. Obviously, Ford are their new engine manufacturer coming alongside Red Bull powertrains. What we've got to remember is they've deliberately called this a livery launch. So it will be very similar to what we've just talked about with the Audi car. It will be a show car with a livery on it. Now, we've had this for years, haven't we? Red Bull teasing us about whether they're going to change their livery or not. I'm expecting a change to the blue, if I'm honest. I think it will go more Ford colour, maybe not as full-blown as Ford, but I think it will be an almost sort of electric blue rather than that deep blue that we've seen. I've got a thinking suspicion we might not be seeing the matte finish. We might be seeing the glossy finish. And if you look at their logo change they've done, they've put that white outline around the Red Bull writing, which makes me suggest they're going to do that when that's a throwback to the sort of Vettel days. Not heard a lot about VCARB, obviously, from what they're doing. All the drivers are going to be there. Ford's launch everything. Daniel Ricciardo is going to be there in his role as a Ford ambassador. It's a big thing for Ford. They're advertising it. It's available online if you want to watch it. It's on the Ford social medias, and it's also going to be on Red Bull's social medias as well. So if you do want to catch that one is from Detroit on January the 15th. Now, Haas brought theirs forwards. They've gone for January the 19th. They were originally planned later on, and there was basically a clash with everybody. I think Ferrari, someone else did it at the same time. So they decided, you know what, we're going to bring ours forward. They've talked very much about what they're doing in previous years, which is what they call an online livery reveal. That is basically a mock-up of what the car will look like with images sent out to the press and put up on social media. I normally get Haas media releases, so I should have that. So keep your eye on my social media because I will share that as soon as that one comes through. But again, won't tell us anything about the car. I don't imagine any of these car launches are going to tell us anything about the car. I think they're all very much I think we should call them livery reveals because that's what they are. January the 20th is the next one. That one's actually Audi. They're going to launch in Berlin. That's then open to the public the next day. So again, it's going to be what we saw probably in Barcelona, a show car with their livery on it. They've already teased the colour scheme back in, I want to say, October, when they had that silver on the front and that red and that black. They've said that that's their colour scheme going forward. Honda are doing something a little bit different. So they've got a power unit launch on January the 20th. I don't know why they're launching their engine. If the recent rumours would be heard, maybe they should get to work on it because apparently they're behind. But yeah, January the 20th is a Honda power unit launch, which is going to be held in Tokyo. January the 22nd at Mercedes, it looks like they're going to do a media release with their car renders. That's what they're planning. January the 23rd, we've got Ferrari. They're going to launch most likely in Italy. It's going to be a Spec A car. They've already admitted that. Again, livery launch is the word we're going to use here. Also on January 23rd, Alpine are going to launch in Barcelona. They're in the competition through their app at the moment, which is Rides Plus. If you go on there, fill out all of the details, sign up to that one, you'll be entered into the competition to potentially be invited to their launch in Barcelona. That competition runs until Sunday, so head on over to the Alpine app and sign up for that one. And then in between that and the next car launches, we've got January 26th to January the 30th, which is, of course, the first private preseason test in Barcelona. No media allowed for that one, so that is a media blackout. What the FIA have said for that one is they've said that basically if you've not launched your livery by that point, we expect a camo livery on the cars. No one's actually confirmed whether or not that's just a story or whether that's happening or not. Williams already said that they're going to run a test livery. They run that competition over the winter break where you can vote for your livery. So they've already announced and released what livery they're running for their pre-season test. February the 2nd, after that test, I remember for that 5-day test in Barcelona, teams can only run for 3 of the days. February the 2nd, Mercedes full season launch. So we're going to get the renders, but then on February the 2nd, we're going to get a big launch from Mercedes in full. February the 3rd is going to be Williams. They're going to reveal their livery. February the 8th is the one a lot of people are waiting for. That is Cadillac are going to do a livery reveal during the Super Bowl commercial breaks, most likely around the halftime mark. Huge speculation to how big this one's going to be, but this is Cadillac making a statement. They are scheduled for February the 8th during the Super Bowl. February the 9th, we've then got the final teams, which will be Aston Martin and McLaren. McLaren are going to launch theirs from Bahrain. They've already said it's going to be an online launch. I want to say 3 p.m. UK time off the top of my head. And that will complete the car launches, livery launches, whatever you want to call them. Well, I will say, take everything with that pinch of salt. Like I said, I don't believe for 1 minute we're going to be seeing what these cars are going to look like in pre-season testing from what we see on those images that are given to us, certainly the ones from the teams. Then, of course, we're into testing. We've got the second pre-season test in Bahrain, which will be February 11th to the 13th. That's a normal 3-day test. Teams will be in full flow for that one, and the media is allowed back for that one. So expect coverage, photos, absolutely everything for that one. And then finally, for the rest of the season in terms of pre-season testing, the final test in Bahrain is February the 18th to the 20th, before, of course, the first race in Australia, which starts on March the 6th to March the 8th. That's the weekend it is. So March the 8th is the first Grand Prix, but obviously we start seeing the teams arrive just before that.